how to have a hard conversation without losing full connection in your relationship. Hard conversations do not need to disconnect you as a couple, but many couples enter hard conversations in a way that almost guarantees that they will feel disconnection. They begin with accusing each other. They begin with that conflict or that pressure. They begin definitely already flooded. And sometimes they begin in the middle of the night. Sometimes one partner's distracted. They begin with you always or never. And then we wonder why the conversation becomes such a fight. You know, the issue may be important, but the way the conversation begins often determines whether the couple has the capacity to move forward with getting to a place of understanding and protection. You know, in face-to-face communication is not just the transfer of information. It's how we create connection. It's how we create understanding and especially emotional safety. Every word sends a message. Every silence sends a message. Every facial expression sends a message, and tones do the same. So when we talk about hard conversations, we're not just asking what needs to be said, we're also asking how can we say it in a way that both hearts stay very present. The goal is not to avoid truth. The goal is to speak truth in a way that love can carry. Here are 5 steps that can help those hard conversations happen in your relationship. First, choose the right moment. Not every moment is the right time the second you feel it. Timing matters. And if one spouse is exhausted, distracted, rushing, or flooded, the conversation may fail before it begins. You know, a better way is to ask, is now a good time? Or what would be a good time to have this conversation? This communicates respect, and it tells your spouse, I'm not here to ambush you. I'm here. I want us to both be present. The second step is start with your heart, not with just your mouth. Instead of you never listen to me, try I've been feeling unheard and I want to share it with you before I become resentful or this stays buried. Instead of you don't care about this marriage, try I miss being close to you and I want to understand what's been happening to us. This does not weaken the truth. It makes the truth easier to receive. Come up with some of your own. Step 3, use specific examples instead of those global attacks. Words like always and never, they tend to make people defensive. You always ignore me. You never help out. You always make this about you. You know, those phrases express the pain, but they often block future connection. Try this instead. Yesterday, when I was sharing about my day and the conversation changed quickly, I felt dismissed. Specific language gives the couple something real to work with. Global language, that creates a courtroom where we have to have a judge and a jury. Step 4, listen to understand before you respond. This is where many conversations really break down. One person is talking and the other person is preparing the defense, but they're not listening. But listening is not just waiting your turn. It means asking, what is my spouse trying to help me understand right now? What's going on? Not, how do I prove them wrong? You know, a helpful sentence is, what I hear you saying is, then repeat back part of what you heard. This slows the conversation down. It helps the other person feel seen, and it helps both people from reacting from only tone or fear. Step 5, end with one clear next step. Do not try to fix the next 10 years or last 10 years in one conversation. Ask one small change that we can practice this week. Maybe it's a check-in, maybe it's apologizing faster, maybe it's putting our phones away for dinner, or maybe it's praying together every day. Maybe it's scheduling another conversation to take this further. You know, small, consistent repair matters more than this one dramatic conversation. What success really is sharing those important truths. You know, a hard conversation is not only successful when you agree, it's successful when you understand each other, that you stay present and you stay connected in the process. You know, sometimes the first goal is not agreement. It's safety, softness, understanding, learning to say, I can hear without defending. I can get the truth without attacking. I can stay present even when this feels really uncomfortable. That's courageous communication, not just perfect words, not flawless timing, not never getting emotional. Courageous communication is two people choosing to connect while still telling the truth. So here's your practice with this section. Before your next hard conversation, write down these 3 sentences. First, what I want to talk about is. Second, what I feel underneath that is. And third, what I hope we can build together is. And then begin there. Not with blame, not with a verdict. Begin with clarity. Begin with humility. Begin with a desire to restore that connection. Because hard conversations do not have to be the place where intimacy dies. It can become the place where intimacy grows. When 2 people are willing to stay face to face, this is where that can happen. Try those sentences tonight. I want to talk about something important. I want to stay connected while we do. Please subscribe for more from our face-to-face conversations, and we hope to connect with you again really soon.